Hey, what's going on? Do you own a KTM 690 Enduro R? Have you seen the 2019? Have you been thinking about upgrading? Well, you know what? The 2019 is a fantastic motorcycle, but is it worth it? We're going to get into it. We're going to talk about it on the Rant and Ride.
Look what happened. I woke up in a big old pile of money. Hey, all you KTM guys, come on. I'm Team Warren. Don't think I'm coming down on the I, on the other hand, and you on the other hand, and a lot of people on the other hand. So why don't we have a 450? As a competitor, do a lot of body.
But here's my thinking.
Hey, what is going on, everybody? Hope everybody is having a fantastic week. Beautiful weather here. Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas. Out for a little ride, out for a little rant. You saw the intro. Is it worth the upgrade? Is it worth the upgrade? First off, Joe, you know, 690ADV, 690ADV.com. Decals are being shipped out this weekend. I'm sorry, I've been busy. I do have a day job, so I apologize. But they are being shipped out. They are on their way. Don't forget, we have podcast Sundays and Thursdays. Go subscribe. Be part of it. Get in on our podcast action. If you don't mind, it does help us out a little bit. But anyway, hey, KTM 690 Enduro R. I own one. I am a KTM owner. I'm not just sitting there blibbity blabbity blue. I know a lot about motorcycles. I don't know everything, but I do know a lot about motorcycles. And I know a lot about this bike. 2019, woo! That's one sexy beast. I ain't gonna lie to you. She is one sexy beast. Now, I have a 2017. Should I upgrade? Should I not upgrade? Should I just keep the bike that I got? What should I do? Well, I don't know. I've been thinking about it. I love it. That new 2019, boy, she's sexy. She looks good. And they made changes to it that really can entice you to want to go get it. They do. They make you want to go get that bike. They just want to make you go get the bike. Why? A, because it's 2019. It's brand new, man. Brand new bike. And not only that, that's what they do. They sucker you in, man. They sucker you in, and they're like, oh, well, you get this, and it's going to be great. Well, let's get into all the really, really great things about that bike. What is different on the 2019 from a 2017? Is there really a whole lot of differences? There is. Believe it or not, there are differences between the two motorcycles. First off, more fuel. There is more fuel on the 2019. My KTM 2017 has a 3.2 gallon gas tank. The 2019 has a 3.6. So roughly, what have they given us? They've given us about a half a gallon. That doesn't seem like much, but for an enduro bike, a half a gallon, that's quite a bit of juice. You know, that could be the difference of, you know, making that extra 20 miles or not making that extra 20 miles. So that's really a pretty cool deal. They gave us ride modes. The ride mode I got on this bike is pin it and forget it. You know what I'm saying? It's basically go ride. That's it. Go ride your bike. That is basically the ride modes on the 2017. There are no ride modes. There's no freakity-frappity buttons. There's nothing to change. I have a button up here that I can change the ABS on and off. It's not on the fly. And if you can do it on the fly, somebody needs to put it down there in the comments and tell me how you do it. I know they make a dongle switch that you can put under the seat that you can run up to your handlebar, and you can basically, you can do the different map settings, and you can do the WR250, 450L, whatever. This bike is got it. Anyway, you can do that. But if you know how to do it on the fly, let me know, because I'd love to have it. Because as far as I know, the only way I can do it is pulling it over, putting it in neutral, and turning it off. So they got ride modes on that 2019. Street, dirt. That's it. I mean, it's an enduro, man. It's an enduro motorcycle. So what are the differences between the two ride modes? Well, the street mode is basically set up for cornering ABS, which is nice because it makes it a lot nicer for whenever you're riding in those twisties. That ABS is a big deal. It doesn't lock up on you. It's not going to wash out. It's going to keep you on the road. It's going to be nice. Dirt, this is a nice feature they did. They basically, when you engage to dirt, it turns the back off. Man, I wish you could just push a button on my 2017 and it would do that, so I could get that lock up, so I can slip it when I'm going down, you know, canyon roads and stuff like that when I do my trips. But it keeps the ABS on in the front in a specific mode, which they don't really tell you, but they do say it's to help improve the safety of the bike off-road. So, I don't know, but I'm assuming it's got to be pretty cool. It's KTM, man. They're not going to sit there and put something on there that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Now they added these different things. What else did they add? Well, they changed the motor, that's for sure. They changed the motor up. The motor now basically has anti-vibration on it to cut down on the vibes, and it produces, believe it or not, more horsepower. Yeah, because you know the 690 needs more horsepower. It's already almost overpowered as it is. I'm just kidding. It's not. She is just unadulterated power. But it does pull out more horsepower, which is really cool for that bike. Now the dry weight, they're claiming 322. And anybody that's out there, I get so sick and tired. You're saying the dry weight 690. I get it, because that's what the manufacturer does. But here's the deal. If you notice in my videos, I take it one step further. I actually let you know how much fuel weighs, how much oil weighs, and the water weighs. Well, let's just do the math. Fuel weighs how much? 6 pounds per gallon. All right, 6 pounds per gallon. Now we're going to do oil. What does oil weigh? 7 pounds per gallon. Give or take a few decimal points in there. It's basically 6, 7. And then you got basically your antifreeze or your coolant. That's going to be somewhere between 7 and 8 pounds. It's not water. It has water, but it also has elements in there. So, add all those together, that bike is sitting in somewhere around that 350 range. 350 pounds for an enduro bike. That is super ridiculous powerful and street worthy. Yeah, I'm listening. So, now we're at 350. My 2017, what does it weigh? 308 dry, about 330, 335. So basically we're going to be sitting somewhere around about 30 pounds heavier for that 2019. Is that a big deal? I don't know. Is it a big deal? That's the kicker. Is it a big deal? So those are a lot of the good things that they have about that bike. It's a new look. It's got less vibration. It is sexy. Come on now. It's a KTM 690. It's got more power. It weighs a little bit more. It holds more fuel. So those are kind of the semi-positives about the bike. The price, it's a little bit more. MSRP on screen. Now, my 2017. It doesn't have the ride modes. It doesn't have the fuel. It's lighter. And it costs a little bit less. So here is the kicker. Upgrades. Does it make sense to upgrade. Man, I tell you what, if you've got a boatload of cash, man, just go get you a new bike every year if you can do it. I do not. So here's my negatives. It weighs more than my 2017. And it doesn't really have the aftermarket parts. And it costs more. Now, granted, it has a little more fuel, it has those things, but at the end of the day, I understand that it's a 690, it's a 2019. But my biggest hang-up is aftermarket parts. And the things that I have for my 2017, they're not going to fit on the 2019. So I can't gut this bike and put it on my 2019 if I go buy it. So that's a big deal to me. That is a really, really big deal. So if you're thinking about upgrading, here is my overall result on that. Man, if you just, like I said, if you have a lot of money, yes, it's worth the upgrade. For me, not so much, because none of these parts will fit, and I can't swap them over because it's new. It's got the frames are not the exact same. The rear ends are not the same. So that means I've got to do a whole lot more stuff. Not only that, it's a new engine. It's not a whole lot different, but it is new. It is not the same exact LC4 that is in my 2017 or the 2018. It is different. So that in itself worries me just a little bit. I don't care who it is. It's like last week with the CRF 450L. They're not the same motor. Don't think that is a 450R. It's not. Just because it's in the same case doesn't make it the same motor. They didn't just map it differently. So, in result, my personal opinion, it's not worth the upgrade if you already own a KTM 690 Enduro R. I think you're better served hanging onto your bike, let a year or two roll out on this motorcycle, and then start looking into it. Because that way we're going to get the aftermarket parts, and we're going to get the good in and out data on this motorcycle, and we're going to find out, is it really worth the upgrade? And did KTM get it right? That's my personal opinion. So is it worth it? I say no. That's my opinion, if you already own a KTM. Now, if you own an old KTM, like a 2008 or a 2012, man, you know what? Then you got to weigh those options out. But if you own a 2016, 17, or 18, man, hold tight unless you got a boatload of cash. Anyway, I'm Joe. Thanks so much for sitting in. Listen, that's my personal opinion on the KTM 690 Enduro R 2019 edition. I love my bike. I'm not getting rid of it. I'm not upgrading. It's just not going to happen. But I tell you what, it's beautiful here, and it's nice, and it's riding season, guys. Get out and ride. Go find your adventure, and enjoy yourself on your bike. And be safe out there, and watch out for all the crazies. You guys have a fantastic weekend. Thanks for stopping in. 690 out.